Hey, I'm live. That means you're there. You're live too. Good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. That's me. And this is my friend, the sloth. Slow the sloth down. Good morning, Opa. See my sloth? Got the cutest little thing. Totally cute. And it's so appropriate because today is International Sloth Day. I guess they have sloths all over. I didn't do my homework on sloths, I'm afraid. But about 2 years ago, just about this time, because it was around New Year's Eve, I was in Costa Rica. And that was like the game. I told you I love animals. So wherever I go, I keep track of all the different animals I see. And we knew it was going to be really hard to see a sloth. But we saw quite a few sloths, as a matter of fact. We never saw a sloth crawling along. We only saw them in trees. I think we saw them moving once in a tree. Very slowly. Like a sloth. It was so exciting when we did spot one, though. You know, it's kind of like going to Yellowstone or Yosemite here in the States. When you see cars pulled over on the side of the road, you know you should pull over because there's something to see. And we saw a lot of animals that way, but we saw sloths. And, you know, sloths don't move very fast, but they do get the job done because they're still around. And they've been around for a while. I've one on my bed, too. Yeah, I like sloths. So today is Tuesday, second day of the week. So that's 2. October, that's 10. 2/10/2020. Yeah, there's a lot of 20s in there. And it's the 20th of October. So it's 2/10/2020. I tried putting that in Google to see if anything came up, like if that number was like something magical. Nah, nothing came up. But still, there's just something cool about it being 10/20/2020. 10, 20, 20, 20. Even just saying it is kind of fun. Trying not to be like a sloth today. Oh, I feel like being like a sloth. But there's you, and then there's tennis, and then there's packing because I'm in the middle of moving. And yesterday I packed 9 trash bags. 9 trash bags of things that I parted with. And then another probably 9 boxes of things in the donation pile. My house is pretty full. Not like cluttery full. It's not cluttered at all. I have a lot of stuff, and I'm moving from a 4-bedroom house where I lived alone, filled with stuff everywhere. It's like going through a museum. I have a lot of really cool stuff. So I decided, since my birthday's coming up, to invite family and friends to do a drive-by of my garage and just point at what things they see that I'm not keeping that they would like, and mask covered, I will deliver it to their car and wave them goodbye. What do you think about that? I guess you can't really have a garage sale. I don't want a lot of people touching the stuff or coming into my garage. And I don't have a place where I live where it can be like spread out on a lawn. It's very interesting what you do. Maybe consignment, maybe online. But still somebody has to come pick it up, right? I don't know. It's very weird. I'm trying not to stress over it because I still have escrow's 30 days, so I still have a little bit of time. It is also National Pharmacy Technician Day. Does everybody get their own day? Pharmacy techs, if it's your day, I salute you. It's also National Osteoporosis Day. We're not celebrating it, right? We're looking for it and trying to avoid it. Yes? I remember years ago, I'm going to say 10 years ago, I got a notice from my insurance company that because I had osteoporosis and would need to be taking medication, my insurance was being raised. Really? Really? A, how can you do that? And B, I didn't have osteoporosis. They assumed because of my age that I had osteoporosis. So I went in, and because I was in phenomenal study. I was in a women's study for like almost 20 years where they just followed me along. And one of the things in this women's study, it was actually a menopause study. They checked for osteoporosis every year. So I had all my results. And I had the bones of like a 25-year-old. Okay, a 45-year-old. But still, it was like way, way better than it should have been. I sent all of that into my insurance company with a letter. And guess what? They dropped my rates back down. Now I have Medicare. I'm not that, concerned about it, but still. Osteoporosis. You don't want that. You don't want that. Your bones get weak. You fall down. They break. Not good. Drink your milk. We had fluoride in our water when I was a kid, which I think is why my bones and my teeth are so healthy. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. It is also National Day on Writing. I'm not sure what that means, but have pen will travel. I'm happy to write. Barking dogs. We just had one. Did you hear it? I don't know. Bailey is a barker. Bailey is a barker. We got to work on this. Did you see my post today, my word art on Facebook on what do I say, what do I do? It says that even though they're a pain in the neck sometimes, I do love my puppy paws and waggy tails. True story. That does make me happy and spread the joy. It is, in 1854, today, Abraham Lincoln made Thanksgiving a national holiday. What would we do without Thanksgiving? This is the time when I feel so sorry for vegetarians because I tasted tofurkey. And you know what? Tofurkey is not turkey. It just, I know it's not the same. Yeah, you can still have stuffing, but gotta have your, what is it? Trichinosis too. Gotta have that. Let's see. Well, around this time in the 60s, Watergate was in full force. The more I do this morning coffee with you, and the more I have to look into what happened on this day over the years, the more I realize that what we're going through in the world and what we're going through here in the United States, maybe the degree has changed, but the bottom line is we go through political crap and we go through sicknesses over and over and over, not necessarily to the degree that we're going through it now. Trust me, this is the worst I've ever lived through, and most of the people I know have ever lived through. Yeah. Oh, yeah, not trichinosis, tryptophan. Yeah. 2 different things, huh? Thank you, Oprah. I'm so glad I have a fact checker here. I have a fact checker sitting in the other room too. He listens while I do this, and then I get a critique when I'm done, and he tells me what I need to apologize for the next day because I said it wrong. Oops. It's still fun though, right? What else? I don't know. I made myself a note about disco. I know why. Because today is the day that Donna Summers introduced some disco song. And it wasn't that, but it was like when I saw her name, what that brought up in terms of like disco. You could have hated disco, but it did get us all moving, didn't it? It did. It did. So love it or hate it, it's still fun. Today, happy birthday to Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi is the one who played Dracula. Yes, and he did it very well, so that people all over Transylvania were even worried that he would come home. And the interesting thing is he was actually from that part of the world. So I'm not sure that he wasn't actually playing himself in Dracula. And he's gone now, so we can't prove it, but he was pretty scary, don't you think? Yes, Dracula. Happy birthday, Bela Lugosi. Also, the birthday of Will Rogers Jr. Now, when I saw that it was Will Rogers' birthday, my brain immediately went to Will Rogers, not Will Rogers Jr., who was his son, both politicians, both writers. As in California, well, they lived in California. They have this big estate. There's Will Rogers State Park and there's Will Rogers State Beach. And you can actually go to Will Rogers State Park and go visit the home where Will Rogers Jr. grew up. And I remember going there quite a few times as a child because it was such a cool place. You thought you were like in the middle of cowboy times because there were ropes everywhere and saddles and everything was wooden and Western. And it was a glorious place to go visit. And that's where Will Rogers Jr. grew up, became a senator, I guess. Senator? Let me see my notes. Not sure, but he was in Congress and he was known for being the person in Congress who did the most during World War II to try and save the European Jews, which I didn't know until I Googled him. But while I was Googling him, I was thinking more about his dad. So I want to honor, in his honor, Will Rogers, who said more cool things. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Slightly different, much funnier, but more cool things than Mother Teresa, who said a lot of cool things. He was the Rumi of political humor. How's that? Yeah. So I have some stuff to share with you because the guy was brilliant. Will Rogers. He said, even if you're on the right track, if you just sit there, you'll get run over. Never miss a good chance to shut up. If there are no dogs in heaven, then when I die, I want to go to wherever they went, which is right in line with my word art this morning, isn't it? Too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like. Everything is funny as long as it's happening to someone else. Oh, listen to this one. There are two theories to arguing with women. Neither works. All I know is just what I read in the papers, and that's an alibi for my ignorance. His most famous quote of all times was, I never met a man I didn't like. Interesting, huh? And then he said, common sense ain't common. Oh, I have so many to share with you. I think I'll save some for tomorrow, but I love this one. And it's so appropriate since his son grew up to become a congressman. If pro is the opposite of con, what's the opposite of Congress? Whoa. Okay. It's also happy birthday to Herschel Bernardi. I don't know if you remember Herschel Bernardi. He was kind of an actor, comedian. But here's what you might remember him for if you're anywhere near my age. Anywhere near it. Do you remember Charley Tuna? He was the voice of Charley Tuna. Only the best tuna get to be star-kissed. Do you remember that? That was Herschel Bernardi. So, 1923, he was born. Happy birthday, Herschel, if you're still around. And it's quite possible. My mother was born in 1923, And I got to see her yesterday through the window, but I decided now that she's kind of getting used to sometimes seeing me again, it wouldn't be quite so disturbing to see me and then have me leave. And I took my grandson Max with me, and all she kept saying was, "He's so cute. He's so big." It was very cute. I don't think she was like comparing him to what she remembered, just that he was a big little boy next to me. Happy birthday to Art Buchwald. Do you know Art Buchwald? It's funny, as I go through whose birthday it is, I make a special point of telling you about people I've either met or have some kind of association with. And in this case, Art Buchwald was a columnist for Chicago Sun-Times. Oh, I might be wrong about that. But he was a columnist in Chicago, one of my Grandma Millie's favorite columnists. And I happened to be at the Music Center for some event, and he was sitting right there outside. And being the shy person I am, I walked over and introduced myself and started to have a little chat with him before the show started. Art Buchwald, very talented. He was kind of a rotund guy, really nice. 1931, Mickey Mantle was born. Happy birthday, Mickey Mantle. There was nothing better than getting a Mickey Mantle baseball trading card. It's what we all live for. I know my son Mike got one for his bar mitzvah as a gift. That was a really expensive gift. I'll have to ask him if he still has it. I bet that's worth a pretty penny now. 1950. Unfortunately, he died in 2017, born in 1950. Tom Petty. I mentioned Tom Petty for a couple of reasons. First of all, because I really love his music. And second of all, because I think I mentioned to you that I got to meet Jackson Browne at a concert once, got to go backstage and go onto his bus. And my husband got to say, "Hey, what's happening, Jackson?" But what I forgot to tell you is I met him at a Tom Petty concert. But at the time, I was so into Jackson Browne that meeting Tom Petty was no big deal. Trust me, meeting Tom Petty is a big deal. You can't do it now. Oh, okay. So I want you to know, in closing, that what I told you yesterday about how to downsize is starting to work. I am asking myself questions like, would I spend my money to buy this today? And do I need this? Do I feel attached to this? And now my new question is, does it fit with who I am in this new chapter of my life? New beginnings might require some new things. Yes, you can take some of the old stuff with you, but be prepared to create some new memories too, and leave room for those new memories. That's my plan. And I'm going to do it slowly, like a sloth. And here's my last piece of advice for today. If you are going to work slowly as a sloth, pay special attention. Pay special attention to why you are moving slowly. It's not just for the sake of moving slowly. There are benefits sometimes to moving slowly. Think about what those are and live them. Enjoy them. Have a wonderful day. And think of me while I'm trashing, packing, donating, throwing, letting go, but not of you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.